Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Trey Fan Podcast. It is your boy Rashawn. As you can tell, we are finally at a studio. Uh, this is something I've been waiting for a very long time. Uh, it's just things didn't go the way it was supposed to, but thank God we're finally here now, and I'm very happy to say that this is the home now. Xpod Studios, thank you guys again for having us. I have my good friend here who is making his return. He was supposed to be on the last episode, back I think it was the 17th or 16th episode, but something came up. Vishal, welcome back.
What's going on, Sean?
You
How's it
doing, bro?
going?
Good.
Good to be back. Yeah,
I
man.
know this is the person, and then you have
I
a
know.
studio now,
Nice to
man.
be the first one in the studio.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you being here
Of
and
course.
taking the time to do this because I know it was a little hectic. We also had wives that was supposed to go and be with us too, but he's sick right now, so he's not able to be here. But yeah, how you been, bro?
Been good. Been good. Nice to be back. You know,
Hair's getting longer every
the
time I
hair's
see
longer.
you. The hair just keeps growing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I love it. Like I like it long. You know,
Yeah,
I think it suits me. Looks good.
yeah.
Thank
It's
you.
Remember we always say like he looks like Captain America, so he has
Yeah,
that
it's
look.
going on now.
But
Yeah, especially the Infinity War look.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that.
I like that look.
But did you enjoy Endgame when we were talking about it? Like,
Yeah, we talked about that before. Remember?
yeah,
I think the last time I was on it.
we still
Not.
preferred
Yeah, I still prefer
Infinity.
Infinity War.
Yeah. Yeah, as you guys can see now, this is the new location. So all the future episodes are going to be at this location, and I'm very excited to have future guests on here. And yeah, so let's get right into it, man. Obviously things have been changing in our lives and such, and one thing for sure is like obviously you're seeing someone now. How have things been going with that?
All things have been really good, man. It's been a big change, but like a really good change, you know?
Yeah,
Um, being as I was one of the friends in the friend group who was like pretty much like I'm 30 now.
yeah,
I was pretty much single my entire 20s. So um yeah, said like everything I wanted out of a relationship, everything I thought I wanted is what it is.
and it was just the waiting factor, but like it wasn't like
Long waiting time, but massively worth it.
100%. I'm happy to hear that, bro. I really am. Uh, I know obviously now that that changes here, um, do you feel like it's a little bit hard now to balance being in a relationship and then making time for yourself now, or like has it been smooth of an adjustment with that?
Honestly, not much of an adjustment. I guess one thing is because my girlfriend is still in school,
Yeah,
um, we don't see each other that often, maybe like once a week, or we try to at least like once a week or whatever on the weekends and stuff like that. So pretty much my daily schedule hasn't changed.
that's wicked.
You know, it's go to work, come home, do my workouts, cook dinner, go to
Yeah,
bed. You know, I guess the only difference now is like I talk to her before I go to bed,
yeah,
but all hasn't changed much. And then, you know, when the weekend comes, we'll go out and do different things,
that's good,
which
man.
is
That's
nice.
good. Um, yeah. So obviously, I already told you like all of us are like happy for you, and
Thank you.
um, the last time we were talking about like relationships and stuff, we were all at a different headspace, and uh, so it's nice to see, and obviously things are working out, thank God. And um, how did you guys meet?
I mean,
We
you were
gotta.
there.
I was there, but
You were
like
there, but like I guess you don't know the fine details in it.
we only knew like little glimpses of it,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
you
have to say
saw
the very
glimpses.
least.
I feel like you and Sandra like anytime we used to go anywhere, you're like always on the lookout for like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I guess the way we met is like true like police story. I don't think you could beat it. The amount of like but basically what happened was we met at our boy Jay's wedding,
Shout out to
obviously.
Jay. If you guys haven't already, the Jay and Davey vlog has been out. That's probably one of the most views I have on the channel. So
Yeah, so
that's what we're referring
it was
to.
that wedding.
We were
S-
there when it happened, no?
you were somewhere. You and Sandra were somewhere, no doubt, like in the distance, like binocularing me down or something. But yeah, so it was actually the Kangan night, which was the Sunday night.
Yeah.
It was in the evening, and we were everyone's on the driveway. I can't remember who was playing music at the time, if it was Jay or like
One of the other
or
guys.
Vishal or whatever, the other Vishal. Um, but anyways, music's just playing. Like everyone's pretty tipsy at this point because like we were there all day, and
Yeah.
like drinks were flowing the entire day, and yeah, like music is just pumping on the driveway, and like I'm pretty sure everyone was on the dance floor, or like almost
Yeah.
everyone, and myself included, and yeah, like just whatever, just in the middle of the dance floor looking around. Obviously, I'm pretty drunk, so I like
Yeah.
I'm just like staring around, not really like comprehending what I'm visualizing. Um, but like I kept noticing that like when I'd look at this one girl, she'd lock eyes with me, right? And then it happened like at least two or three
Yeah.
times from what I can remember. I'm like, okay, I'm not drunk. I'm not
You're
imagining
not picturing this.
this. Not just this is not just me like making it up in my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like I can tell like there's interest in me and her and me. So after like a few times and like I finally like convinced myself that this is true, that's happening, I'm not just drunk. I went over to her and like I like spread my two hands to her and I was like, would you dance with me? But the funny thing is the music's so loud she didn't hear a word
So
that I
she just
said.
saw
She just saw me like present my hands to her and she was
Yeah.
like, okay. And then she like took my hands and then we started dancing and like that's how we met. um I guess at a certain point I
I think
don't,
there was footage too
there might be, but I don't know.
of you guys
I
dancing.
can't remember. There might be. But yeah, after a while, I remember coming off the dance floor with her and then we were just like talking and we had a lot in common. Like she asked me what I do for work and stuff. I told her I'm an engineer.
Yeah.
She asked me where I went to school and I'm like University of Guelph. And turns out she's studying at the University of Guelph.
Yeah.
So we had that connection like right off the bat.
Yeah.
And yeah, like we just kept talking the entire night and then like a week or two after the wedding drove out to Guelph to see her
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we had our first date and
Nice, bro.
yeah, things just rolled from there.
That's big, man. That's crazy. That's that's exciting because I think at the wedding, I think there was a point where me and Sanj we saw you guys dancing together and we got hyped. But like we were also kind of like lit in a way.
Oh yeah.
So our reactions, like we're thinking like, oh, we're just reacting in our mind, but we're actually like, oh my god, like screaming, like So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's good,
It's
man.
big
That's
time. And
good.
then when was it that we went out for dinner and I told you guys and you guys were all like shocked?
Yeah.
Because
When did?
I kept it pretty close until then. We went
Yeah.
to St. Louis. I don't
Yep.
remember, when did we go? We were supposed to record a podcast there.
That's when.
That was the night,
Yeah.
yeah, but then something happened, right?
Someone flopped or something, and they just got rearranged.
Yeah, yeah, and then I just dropped the news there. Everyone was shocked.
Oh no! So you guys still went, no?
Yes. Oh, you didn't come.
Yeah, because I had work.
You didn't come.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
yeah.
reason.
Okay, it was Wipes and Snow and Sandra and I.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
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 yeah. So it was me that flopped.
yeah.
It wasn't like I
The
was like out
one,
here like
the
trying to
one,
like throw people under the bus. Like, oh,
the,
these guys flopped. It was me that was.
the guy who was supposed to record the podcast.
Yeah, so it was that, and then you guys told me over text. I think it was on our group chat.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So another thing that I've noticed too is like with this day and age is it seems that relationships are often presented in a way that is actually not what it seems to be through social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, do you think there's good to social media with posting your relationship, or more bad to it? That makes sense.
I think
Or you think it has like it's a balance in between.
I definitely think there's more bad than good.
Yeah.
Uh, because I think the thing is, let's just get it out of the way. The good thing is like when people post about their relationship and stuff, like they'll post that they're going on dates and stuff in certain places, and then
Yeah.
you get ideas for your own self. Like for example, like someone goes to this restaurant and you can see it in the background, and you like the
Yeah.
food looks good, the restaurant looks nice. I'm gonna go there with
You see
my
it in your
significant other.
area and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So stuff like that is good, but then on the bad side of it is people are just like you can always see there's people just like airing out their dirty laundry
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram and stuff, and I'm like, this is something that, like you should have like a one-on-one conversation
Yeah,
with
there's
your
no reason
partner.
for it.
There's no reason for you to just like air it out on social media and like have everyone else, be a part of it. I don't like that part of it.
And then not be surprised about it when people look at your relationship different,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
And then also look at you different because you're
yeah,
saying some real controversial stuff for everyone to hear.
and especially if people claim that they love their partner and they value and care about them, if that's the case, then why are you gonna be talking down on them and talking bad about them on social media and
Yeah,
such?
especially for like everyone to see.
Yeah,
It makes no sense to me.
and then you're just proving everyone right in a sense, right? That you don't have really, you know, much good to say about it. So I think at the start, like what I used to think when it came to posting online with your relationships were some people like for me, I was like, okay, maybe I used to think of it like just showing my person off. Like I wanted to show how cool they are and like what we got going on and such, you know.
Right, right.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but
No, there isn't. Definitely
there's
not.
also good and bad. But like you said, the bad outweighs the good. So
That's what I think. Because you just see so much of it, right?
yeah. And then a couple of weeks later, the couple's broken up,
Yeah.
or you know what I'm saying? Like they're just there's too much that goes in
Yeah, there's too
with
much
it,
that
man.
goes in, and I think everyone's just too ready to share problems that they're going through. And it's like instead
Exactly.
of just actually talking about it and solving it, they're just like ready to
Ready
like
to tweet about it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Used to find out about like some problems through Twitter
Oh
before
yeah, all the time,
or
all the
on their
time.
story.
All the time, all the time. You can always tell when someone's going through it when they're like posting quotes or like
You're like,
whatever.
oh, this person again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You already know like right away.
I don't know, man. I think that like you said now, it's just like the bad is just outweighing the good. And it sucks because Instagram as a platform is a very good social media platform when it comes to getting your businesses across or
Oh yeah.
making relationships and such, because that's what it's based off of. But now, as you could tell, people are working with other people just to post content. You know what I mean?
For like the sake of shock value
Shock
or
value, that's it.
yeah.
And uh even like other shows, like people have created shows where they're not really talking about much that seems I want to say interesting, but like, you know, provide any substance. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. There's just it seems like there's just a lot of stuff showing like controversial just for the sake of being controversial,
That's it.
you know?
There's no good topics or like
No.
real good discussion. And that was I think the point of podcasting was to give yourself a platform because a lot of people think they could start a podcast with their friends and talk, you know. I was probably one that people probably looked at like that, but I hope that people could see that I take value and credibility into making good content and providing insight, even giving advice and such, or like getting advice from,
Yeah.
you know, that hopefully people could
It's
see that,
definitely
you
not an
know.
easy thing. Like I couldn't do it. I could not. Like,
You know what's crazy though? I don't watch back any of my podcast videos. When I edit, like I
yeah,
skim through them and just
that's
think,
crazy. Like I was like I hate seeing myself on camera, so like I
yeah.
try I never watch any of them. I just can't do it because like I just think about myself too much. And I'm like, why did I say this? Or like, why does my voice sound like that? Why did I do this? Like, I
Like
can't do it. I'm too like
one
hypercritical.
person told me, I kid you not,
Yeah,
they said that when I first started making like my first couple episodes, I
yeah.
used to say but then or like a lot. So they said like they got drunk off of how many
Oh,
times
they
I
took
said
like
it. Yeah, they took
they
shots.
did shoot a game out of it.
Yeah, so I'm like after that, I'm like, okay, I gotta try to, you know, watch how I word things and you know,
Yeah, yeah. That in
uh
itself is like a talent. Not
y-
everyone has that, like
yeah,
a
like
speaking ability.
I'll kid you not, like even like still to this day recording like Instagram reels or like
Mm,
being in front of the camera and such, I have to do a couple takes. Like I have no problem saying that. You know, I don't take it on the first try. Like you know, um, but that's the thing. Like it's a part of learning, and I'm happy that it's a skill that I developed because I learned how to talk and pronunciate things better, communication better from
yeah.
it. So it has its pros and cons, you
That
know.
is good. That's good.
But see, I see. But that's another one I used to say a lot, but I don't care.
That's
Um,
whatever.
yeah,
Everyone uses filler words.
that's what it is. Another thing I was gonna talk about too, being talking towards relationships was certain ideals with relationships. You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's a good thing to compare other relationships in terms of uh just like other couples basically?
I definitely think you shouldn't,
Yeah.
because I think every pair is so unique, and to compare to someone else is so difficult because you're there's just so much unique about each couple and their personalities and how
Yeah,
they mesh and like things that they like to do and places they like to go to and how they treat each other and stuff like that. It's so unique. So like comparing with someone else,
you can't.
you can't do it. You're just gonna look for like faults that don't exist or like annoy yourself about things that maybe your partner doesn't do but the other one does, and it's just like why are you doing that to yourself?
No, 100%.
Take your relationship for what it is,
And
and
appreciate what
and
you have.
appreciate what you have, because they might be showing that they have this good stuff going on, but then you don't know the bad stuff.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
only
mean?
seeing one
You're
side,
only
right?
seeing one side.
Or
So
what you're depicting of,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. So you can't just take what you're depicting of the good from other people and project that on yours, or, for example, even take the bad from someone else and project that on yours. You have to handle the situation as it is.
Do you think like also like at a certain age we start to realize those things because
Definitely.
when you're in your young 20s,
Oh, yeah.
you're thinking like a certain way, right? Like you said, like you're thinking you're always comparing to the other
Mhm.
couple and stuff, right?
Mhm.
And as you get like mid 20s, almost 30s and such now, um, you see the difference in your mindset, right?
Yeah, yeah, you definitely do. You're like you're more mature. You have you have goals that you need to reach and stuff like that. You're less focused on I guess social aspects
Yeah,
rather than being goal oriented and stuff like that once you get older. And I think that changes everything. Like once you become more like goal oriented and stop caring about other people's lives and what they think about you, you become more focused on what's going to make your life better.
100%,
And
man.
that's definitely more important.
Uh, I think another thing is that because we see these couples, we see how they actually are, and some good can come from it in maybe realizing, okay, I need to try better, I need to
There's
try
that. Yeah,
harder
yeah. That is true.
in the
But
relationship. But
how many people are truly like self-reflective like that? You know what I mean?
that's the thing, bro.
Not many.
And everyone has their egos and such
Yeah, yeah.
too.
Everyone has an ego. So, but like, kudos to you if you can see that, like, you're noticing your bad aspects in someone else and noticing that you have to change. That takes a big person to do that.
I think one more aspect that I would like to see is also people taking accountability that you don't see as much. Like
Oh, definitely not.
especially when you're fighting with your partner, because let's be real, like fighting is part of the relationship and there's nothing wrong with that. I think there just needs to be when it comes to more so for like men, I've realized that like we don't really take accountability right away. It
Hmm.
takes some time to understand, and we're not often going to apologize. And that's not a good way to look at it, right? Like
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you need to have those sides, especially with the person that you care about. Do you
Yeah,
think that like obviously having disagreements with your partner and coming to agreements is good for the relationship, or do you think you it's better to have butting heads? Because there's
I,
some couple that strive off that.
yeah.
I don't know how.
I don't know how. Yeah, I couldn't. I think it's good when like disagreements are gonna happen, like
Yeah,
regardless, right? Two different people, you're gonna have two different viewpoints at some point on some things. Um, what helps is when you have these disagreements is to have like a good discussion with each other and find out like what you're doing wrong and what you could do better, what your partner is expecting out of you, stuff like that. And trying to work at it together to solve the issue rather than just, being angry with each other and not
yeah.
getting anywhere. It's good to have discussions. Try not to get too upset and to like control your emotions, have a civil discussion,
I
make
think
things
that's the
work
one
like
thing you'll
that.
probably learn to more and more
Yeah,
each day is
when you
patience.
get older, you
Patience.
you have your patience is up, like you're not just riled up all the time.
Yeah, because it's just like it's not worth it. Like
Mm.
as you get older, there will be complications with how you view things with your partner. You're not going to agree on everything, but
No.
that is okay
Yeah,
if you
you
can have a mature conversation about it.
exactly. And you realize like a lot of the little things that used to bother you don't matter.
No,
They really don't. Like there's things that you used to get upset about, and then it'll happen again when you're older and you're just like, why did I used to get mad at
trip
that?
over like some stupidness.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I I was also one like that too. Like my when I was like in my 20s, little things used to bother me a lot. And I used to think that, like this happens to everyone. Like I have a right to feel how I feel. We all think that we're in our own fantasy that we're the king and such.
Mhm.
But that's not true. Like we are entitled to feel how we feel, but at the same time, there's ways to go about it and it's with respect.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
that's a
the
good way
biggest
of
thing.
putting it. Definitely a good way of putting it.
Because our egos come in the way a lot, but
Yeah,
you're realizing more and more that once you find who you're meant to be with, it's no longer just you and I, it's me and you together now,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, and then you have to plan for things accordingly.
In the
You know,
future, you don't know what's like anything can happen in the future, right?
uh,
Especially with going through the pandemic and whatever's going on in the world now. Um, there's bigger issues at hand that you realize the little things are not even gonna be worth fighting for. Like those things can just look past. So
yeah, yeah, exactly, right.
um yeah, I think that was about it. I want to talk about relationships because me and him haven't talked. Like we haven't had our own episode.
No,
We
no,
always had
never
like
have.
either
It's always someone
Sanj.
else.
It was mostly Sanj in
Mostly
these
Sanj,
episodes.
yeah. It's always a three.
Shout out to Sanj. Man's in Buffalo right now. But it's good to like hear what your perspective is in relationships now because I know firsthand like
I
it
guess because
was
it's like
t-
a
it was
fresh
tough.
perspective, right?
Yeah.
Because here I am giving advice, and it's like it's like brand new for me.
The new
Plus,
studio vibes,
yeah,
bro. That's why.
yeah, yeah. It's not even advice, really. It's just like my take.
And it's good though
Yeah,
because you were someone that had a lot of things that you had to go through to get to
yeah,
this
yeah.
point,
And
right?
I guess I had like a lot of like outside observations
Yeah.
on other people. So I mean, like when I get to this stage, I know that I won't do that or I will do this.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of experience like viewing everyone else in the friend group and like
Yeah, you see it firsthand, like what we all had
see
to
firsthand like
go through.
definitely what not to do.
Yeah. Oh, bad. But I appreciate you being so honest with that,
Yeah,
man.
anytime, man.
It's and what I'm realizing too now is people like to hear these kind of conversations. Like it's easy to have club talks and about drinking and whatever, but when it comes down to the depths of it, this is what people relate to. This is what people go through every single day,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm happy to have these kind of conversations. What I hope to continue to do. So,
That's definitely good stuff.
um, should we talk about films,
Sure,
movies?
definitely.
So we had the discussion when we were trying to figure out what the kind of conversation we want to have on the show. Um, do you think that the movie industry has gone stale, or do you think because there's so much content coming out so frequently that we don't take time to really decipher and appreciate what's out there?
I think there's just the content isn't good. Like I'll let
Yeah.
you know this. Like so I've been with my girlfriend for 5 months now.
Yeah.
We've not never watched. We never been to the movies together.
Wait, really?
No, because
What?
every time we look at the movie list, there is nothing good.
Yeah.
It's just like you just scroll through and you're like, I'm not interested in any of this.
No, half the stuff that come out has been
No, it's just
garbage.
absolute garbage. And like there's just nothing good. I'm like, I want to take her to the movies. I want to
Yeah.
go. I want to like see something, but there's just nothing that grabs either of our interests. And the thing is, like, we both like similar kind of movies. Like,
Yeah.
we like thrillers, kind of horror kind of movies, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Nothing's interesting, man.
Okay, what's your top 5 movies of all time? If you can,
All time?
yeah,
Oh my
I'll give
gosh.
you something to think about.
Do I have to do an order or like no
No, no
order?
order.
Okay, no order. They're gonna be like almost all be Christopher Nolan movies,
Oh,
but
of course.
Interstellar,
Yeah.
The Dark Knight, Inception, Shutter Island.
Oh, that was really good actually.
Ooh, and fifth one's tough. Trying to think of like a movie that I can watch.
But
Maybe Gladiator.
yeah, Gladiator's fire.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Um, I made this list like years ago, and I still think like because I grew up watching like 80s
Yeah,
movies
yeah.
because of my father and my mom and such. So a lot of them were Back to the Future, The Breakfast Club. Um, I'll put Interstellar. Uh, Spider-Man 2, like the
Nice.
Raimi one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, damn, that last one was tough. Um, I'll probably put Dark Knight. Yeah, the Dark Knight. Either that,
Nice.
Dark Knight or Dark Knight Rises will probably be the fifth spot because
Right,
I
right.
really
You
enjoyed
really like
the Dark Knight
fight
Rises.
between the two, right?
Yeah, I think that like you said, like the Christopher Nolan films are incredible. Did you like Oppenheimer?
I did. I enjoyed Oppenheimer a lot.
It was mostly like a dialogue film though, right? Like
Yeah, yeah. Heavy dialogue and like character focus, which is usually a bit different than what Nolan usually does.
yeah,
Especially because he's never done a biopic. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, that was his first one. So it's different than his normal movies, but
Yeah,
had sort of his normal flair behind the camera and like
certain shots, right?
certain shots. And then I guess the way he told the story wasn't in like chronological order. It was
Yep.
flipping between different timelines and stuff like that. But I definitely enjoyed it. Being someone who works in the nuclear power industry, it's like that period is very important to like
Yeah.
the field that I work in. So, I learned a lot about Oppenheimer and the stuff that they were doing back in school. So it was interesting for me to see like
Oh, that's sick.
how his life played out and stuff like that. I didn't know all the history of his life. I knew what he did, but not his personal life and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. So it's interesting to see like all the stuff that he did and then the fact
Killian
that he was
killed it
like
too.
killed it. Absolutely destroyed that role.
Yeah.
He's such a good actor, and
I was happy he actually got like an opportunity to actually just star in a
yeah, because
major film.
he's been in like a lot of Nolan
Yeah,
films,
but
but he's never been the lead. Did you know he tried out to be Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't get the role, but he got to be Jonathan Crane, the
But
Scarecrow.
even then, he killed Scarecrow.
Yeah,
He was wicked
he
with
was
it.
wicked at it, and then he was also in Inception.
Yeah.
He played the guy whose dreams they had
To get
enter.
through. Yeah, yeah.
And I can't remember if he was in another one of
Of
his
Christopher
movies.
Nolan's
Yeah,
films. I just remember him being in. He was in all three of the Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight.
films
Yeah,
because he played the. Was it the court guy? Do you know what I'm talking
Scarecrow,
about?
Scarecrow.
No,
But
he
yeah,
was Scarecrow in
in
the
Dark
first
Knight
one.
Rises, yeah,
Rises, he was playing the. Was he still Scarecrow?
yeah, he's still Scarecrow.
Okay, I
but
thought he was
he
playing
just
someone else in there.
he just happened to be like a judge or something.
Yeah,
at
it was
the
a judge
sta-
or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but like criminal judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really count that, but
Yeah. So those, yeah, he was in a few of them, and then he finally got the lead, and he killed it. Like,
yeah,
such a talented actor. If you've seen like Peaky Blinders,
he's wicked in
he's
that. Yeah.
so good in that. Quiet Place too, he's good in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just super talented actor. Glad he got a shot, and obviously he killed it, won the Oscar. So
Yeah. I
big up
think
for
that
him.
another thing that I liked about his portrayal was just like like how certain people are made for a certain role. Like I think that's what he was made for.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I think if you look at pictures of Oppenheimer and how he looked,
identical, bro.
yeah,
It was scary.
it's like scary how much he looked like it.
What did you think of the Joker trailer for
I thought
the
it
musical
it
one?
looked interesting, man. And like
Yeah,
one thing that's really cool about Todd Phillips is his filming style.
it's
Like
very unique.
like you
Yeah.
were saying, like you can take a still shot of every scene and it just has this
Aura around
aura around it, like it's like a wallpaper kind of look.
it's so nice.
I love like all the color grading is what's really
Beautifully
cool.
done, man.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good. It's just like grimy, kind of neonish.
Yep.
Looks really cool. Like one thing that I was impressed with, like the first Joker film, was the cinematography.
Yeah,
Just-
that's the one standout. that I
That's
think
that's
was-
what like it draws you in, man. It just looks
feel like
so
you're part of it.
visually interesting.
That's what's missing in a lot of these Marvel films was having their own, letting the director do the
There's
direction.
no
they
there's
want
yeah there's no
there's nothing.
there's no identity to each of the films, which is
If
kinda
you were
sad.
to, if I was to show you the last 6 Marvel films, they all look the same
Mhm.
visually. The design, the storytelling too. Maybe besides Guardians 3, which was James Gunn actually had like his own
Oh yeah.
vision for it. He kept with it. The color grading and everything. The cinematography was done very well. Even the script writing, it didn't feel like it was someone else writing it.
I think the problem is they've kind of like written themselves into a box that like each film needs to set up something else in the future.
Yeah,
And it's like they don't just let the film be its own film, and that's the problem I find with the Marvel movies. And it's gone so stale now,
yeah,
especially because all the interesting characters are gone now.
Yeah,
You know, like every people cared about Iron Man and Captain America and Black Widow and Hulk and Thor, but now you have like all these obscure characters that like you only really know of them if you're like a comic fan.
yeah.
But
And
like
you
for
can't
that,
even like resonate with them. Like
nah.
there's no real character development with them. Like, and what sucks is like, because how were you able to make, Iron Man an interesting character, Tony Stark an interesting
Yeah,
character,
because like
Captain America, which
from
is
before, like nobody really cared about Iron Man before.
nah,
But he was like not a popular character
nah.
until Robert Downey Jr. took the role.
Marvel's main attraction was always Spider-Man, which I'm wearing right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
The X-Men, Wolverine as such. Iron Man just happened to become one of the biggest
Yeah, because he
stars.
was so good at the role.
It was made for him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, and even Cap, like for me, Captain America, I always felt like was such a. I'll put it like this, like the Superman character. He's so good
Yeah, it's
of a
just
good
like
guy
he's
that
not
like he's
interesting.
not interesting. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
anything about it. Like he doesn't have any insecurities. He
No,
doesn't have anything
there's
to
no
be
like
worried.
flaws or anything. There's no
Nothing.
character development. He's just who he is,
Yeah,
and he's always been like
and
that.
they made Cap have a interesting character with
Yeah,
Bucky and such,
yeah. They gave
and
him some flaws, which is
because
nice. You
he
know.
was so good of a person that you know that could ruin certain things, right? Because he
Mm-hmm.
believed in too much of the good.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I thought that was interesting too, which I liked. And then that was all done in the Winter Soldier film, which is like still to
that's
this
still the
day
best one.
is my favorite Marvel
Yeah.
film. I could watch that one so many times over and
Are you gonna
over.
watch Deadpool?
I'm kind of interested in it because they're bringing back
Because they're bringing
Wolverine.
Wolverine,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
he looks cool in the yellow suit, man. Like I didn't think that would ever look good on like live action, but
Yeah.
they
You're so
they
right.
did a good job, right? Because you see it in the comics, right? Like it fits comics, so then you think about like how that would look in real life, and you're like, it would look so dumb.
Because it's like the yellow is like
It's too bright.
yeah. In did you watch the have you watched the X-Men 97
No,
cartoon?
I haven't watched the show yet. I need to
It's
watch it,
really good,
but
bro.
I've seen this one clip where they're
Yeah.
like, um, Cyclops is just like skydiving, and
Yeah.
then he like shoots like a beam to slow himself down, and I'm like, dude, it looks so
It's
sick.
so good. It's done really well. The writing is good, and
I'm glad he's like finally getting the spotlight because he was such a joke character
in the live
in
action,
any of the live action ones,
he looks
but in the comics, he's a badass. Like
yeah.
Cyclops is the man. He's the leader.
He actually feels because in the movies they made him be crazy for like Jean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he always like was scared of like Logan in a way. In the animated series,
Mhm.
he's confident. He knows who he is,
Yeah,
and like you said, he's the leader, like how he's supposed to be based on the
yeah, yeah,
comics,
yeah.
right? And even how the animated series is, that's how he's supposed to
Bro, and
be.
that's one thing they did such a good job too, is like they kept the original animation style, but
Yeah,
updated it in a way that it like suits
doesn't
today.
ruin it. Yeah,
Doesn't ruin it, but it's still like the visuals still look the same as 97, which is so cool. And I heard they're doing that for The Amazing Spider-Man,
yeah.
which is I'm
I
hyped for
love
that. I
that
would
series,
yeah,
bro.
I love that series as a kid. So I'd love to get into it sometime.
Yeah, man, definitely check it out if you have the time. It was done really well. Uh, that's the one thing too. I think I was worried about was because the 97 one, like it was so good.
Mhm.
How do you modernize it?
Yeah, how do you modernize it without losing like
What
the
made it so?
character and
Yeah,
like what makes it so good? And then also, I guess is another thing is like the X-Men are such interesting characters
yeah.
because all of them are so, they have all these crazy powers, but they're also so flawed.
Like just humans.
Yeah, they've been through like a lot of them. Like for example, Storm, super powerful or whatever, but she has like all this childhood trauma.
Yeah,
Or like Logan, just like his whole life
his
has
whole
just
life
been
has been
just
thing.
like an absolute struggle. So that's like the coolest thing I find about the X-Men characters and make them so
Yeah,
relatable is they're all so flawed despite being these crazy powerful mutants.
I'm just praying and hoping that Kevin Feige does not mess up the X Men's when he brings them
For
now to
live
the
action.
MCU for the
I don't
live
know how they're
action.
gonna do that, man.
Like it's gonna be tough because, like you said too, is just they have a certain way of they go about their characters
Yeah,
and to set up the next film. So I'm worried about them doing that to these guys when they could
yeah,
just leave it as it is. Like
yeah. Because
the
what are they
Spider-Man
gonna?
film, they're doing the same thing too. They
Yeah,
wanna
they want to reboot it again.
they wanna have like a multiverse film for the next Spider-Man 4. But Sony's the one who wants to do that. Kevin Feige wants to keep it grounded and keep it just like a New York
Just Tom Holland.
Kingpin, Daredevil, like a street level crime. That I want to keep it
I
at.
don't know if you could do that after all they've done with the last film had such high stakes. Like, how do you just go to like
Now
street
he's
crime and
yeah
kingpin.
in the area.
You know, like they just went to the multiverse kind of thing. How do you go back to just
You literally brought
him swinging around
Toby and
Queens? Yeah.
Andrew.
So I think you kind of have to keep it like that, which would be cool. You know,
Yeah,
like do that, and then you maybe bring in Miles,
yeah.
which
So
would be
I think
cool.
that's what they're looking
Which would be
towards.
cool. But then it's like, does it get too much? I don't know. I was just hyped to see Toby back in the costume,
Yeah,
man. So that
and
era was just the best of Spider-Man.
that's the thing. Like, okay, so I think I had this conversation with White. I think he was the one who came up with this question. Like, what moment did you prefer that hit you more? Was it Avengers Endgame, the end scene where everyone's coming back through the portals, or was it the portals with Andrew and Toby? Which one?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably the Andrew and Toby one
Yeah,
because it was less expected, right?
yeah. With
It's,
the Avengers one, like we already knew that was coming,
you know it's coming, yeah.
but
But yeah, with
yeah,
the Andrew and Toby one was like a surprise, and they're like just like Spider-Man,
yeah.
and then like Toby just walks through.
I think though that Avengers set the tone for theater reactions.
I
You
think
know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah. That scene alone, like if you were in the theater for that, it was such a big moment.
Because now all I think that's what they do now. That's why they're realizing we can make more money off of this is if we keep having like pop moments basically, right?
Yeah, bring back people from the past
So
and stuff like that. It's interesting the first few times you do, but you can't keep
you
doing
can't
it.
keep doing that.
Like for example, if they do the X-Men, like if they recast Wolverine and then do some portal thing to bring back Hugh Jackman or something, I don't think it'll have the same effect.
Weren't they talking about the kid from Harry Potter to be the next
Ooh,
X-Men?
which
Uh
kid?
the main guy from Harry Potter. I don't really watch
Daniel
Harry Potter.
Radcliffe?
Yeah, apparently he
To
was
be who?
to be Wolverine.
No.
Yeah, I don't see him as
Seriously?
that. Yeah,
No.
but apparently
No.
they were looking at
There's no way.
they wanted him.
No. That's a terrible choice.
Yeah, like they could have picked that guy from The Reacher.
Oh, Alan
Alan
Richardson.
Richard would have been sick. I think he was interested in the role too.
He's interested in so many roles now.
Yeah,
Like
he's already
he blew up recently. I remember seeing him in I think a Titans was the first series that I saw him in when
yeah.
he played like
Was he
Hawkman
in
and
like a football show too? Like
Blue Mountain
Blue
State.
Mountain State,
Yeah, I
right? Yeah,
never
that
watched
or
the show, but I've
yeah.
seen now that he's like popular, you always see like highlights of the show and stuff, and he's hilarious on it.
He was good on that show.
But yeah, Reacher's done big for him. Apparently he wants to get into a whole bunch of different things. I heard
Yeah.
he wants to like play Batman and stuff like that. Try
Wasn't
to
he
get into
looking
that.
at I think it was 007 too, no?
Maybe.
Could see it.
Yeah, maybe. He's just so huge though. Like I don't know if it makes sense as James Bond.
I
'Cause,
think
like
Rock is gonna be not playing as many action roles in now. I think he's going to more dramatic films.
The Rock.
Yeah.
He's trying to like branch out and stuff.
Yeah, because I think after Black Adam's failure, he's
Yeah.
kind of realized that, he's gonna make a film with the Safdie
He
brothers.
basically he plays the same character in every movie.
That's the thing. So I'm excited to see that,
Yeah.
because I think John Cena is a perfect example of someone that's carried himself and branched off into other films. Like
He's done a good job. Like
he can play comedy, he can play action, he can play drama if you wanted. So
yeah, he's made that transition from wrestling to do movies, and like I don't mind when I see him in a movie. It's not like I cringe when I see him in a movie.
like
He
it fits
does.
him.
Yeah, he fits the roles he chooses.
So okay, rank the three wrestlers as actors. Batista, Cena,
Ooh.
and Rock. First being the
Oh,
best one from the three.
damn. I haven't seen Batista in that many movies though.
Oh, okay.
What's he been in? Like Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously. His Drax.
He's done some like
I saw another
Stuber.
movie that he was in
He
on
was in
Netflix.
a dramatic role, it's like a horror film. I think he was in.
Oh, with the
Like
house.
with the house, yeah, and it was good.
I never
I
saw
don't
that
remember
one.
the name, but it was
I think the only one I've ever seen him in otherwise is it Army of the Dead?
yeah, Army of the Dead
I
with
saw him in that and he was okay.
Zack Snyder as a director.
What have I seen John Cena in?
Okay, he's done Peacemaker, which is really good in.
I haven't seen Peacemaker.
He just did a new film, Ricky Stenicki, which is like
Never
a
seen
comedy.
that. He's obviously in the Fast series.
The Fast series, which he does Tom's brother.
Yeah.
He does good in it, so I'll allow it.
Is it the Marine or something that he?
That was like one of the first films he ever made.
I like that one.
It was funny, right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be funny, but like it was like a good.
It was decent.
You know what's a movie you should watch actually?
What?
with him is 12 rounds.
That was the movie I was thinking of. I
Fire
like that
movie.
movie. Yeah, yeah.
That movie was
So
so
just because of
good.
that, I might put Cena first.
Yeah,
And then maybe The Rock, just because he's done so many movies, and then last Batista, because
because he hasn't had enough.
I haven't seen him in enough to like judge.
Bro, 12 rounds, man. That was an underrated movie, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it's just that was exactly what I was thinking of. And that movie's I remember it being good. I don't know if I watched it today, if I'd still like it.
I'll put it like this. I watched it back like a year ago,
Okay, and it still
and
holds
it still
up.
holds up
Okay, okay.
because it's the one where like the guy that wants to kill him, so you're making them do rounds.
He makes them do like
yeah,
challenges. Yeah, yeah.
challenges
I
and
remember
stuff.
watching it as a teenager, and I was like,
Yo,
"This
this
is
is
this
sick.
sick
You
movie."
know,
Yeah,
the thing, like, that was,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
good
But
back
then
in the
like
day.
you rewatch movies that you watch as a teenager, you're like this is dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'll rewatch it just to see if it still holds up.
I'm trying to think of like movies that I watched back in the day where I'm like, yo, this is so sick. And then like now being like an adult, I'm like, God, this is so stupid.
I gotta try and remember some.
Oh, G.I. Joe, the first one. I
Really,
used to think it was so sick.
I did too. I did too. And then
like I watched back like a clip of it or
that's
something.
another. Isn't Cena in that? No,
No, it was Channing Tatum.
it's Channing Tatum, right?
I'm like,
Yeah,
God, this is so bad, bro.
yeah. I like the second one though.
Did you watch the new Transformers?
Yes.
So you saw
Yeah,
them-
how they're gonna mix it with G.I.
Yeah.
Joe. I was hyped. Like as a kid, like G.I. Joe and Transformers, man.
Fire.
Big
And the
part
last
of
Transformers
childhood.
were actually really good.
I enjoyed that one, The Rise of the Beast, man.
Yeah.
Like I used to watch Beasties as a kid, and
Yeah.
it was such a big moment to see like Optimus Primal and like Cheetor and like all
Yeah,
those guys.
man.
Like, and it was cool because they focused less on the humans finally and just
Yeah, 'cause-
more on the robot because the humans aren't interesting.
And bro, Mark Wahlberg plays the same
Same
he plays
character
every
every
film.
movie. He never changes.
Someone said Mark Wahlberg is always confused. Like, hey
He
guys,
is.
where are we going?
Yeah,
Are we over
yeah,
here?
all the
I-
time.
What's happening? So
Yeah, he
like,
does the same stupid voice in every movie. He never plays like a different character. And then the character they chose to be the main guy, like he was actually
He was
interesting.
sick.
Yeah, yeah. Like
'Cause it beats. I rather that than hearing. I think we just found a transformer.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, remember that? It was so
That
stupid.
was so good. Yeah, yeah. I forget the actor who played the new guy, but he had like he had a cool story, man.
He
Like,
was good, and the girl. I actually like both their characters.
yeah, like they had a good
chemistry.
They had
That's what it
good
was.
chemistry, and like the fact that they had like a decent backstory
with
made
their
you-
his brother,
his
and
brother and
such.
like his mom and like having to like provide for his family and stuff. So like they finally
relatability.
they gave him some relatability.
And you know what's another thing too was like there wasn't like cringe dialogue.
Yes,
Because remember, like-
the original Transformers
Yeah.
series. Sag is gonna hate me, but he loves like Transformers 1, but it's so cringy. Like
It is.
Shia LaBeouf is so
Baby,
cringy.
come back.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny.
Oh, or when he's in his room and his parents knocking on the door and then he's like, "What? You can't come in here." And
Yeah, 'cause
he's like, "You
yeah.
gotta communicate." Like that's like Saj's favorite scene. Though. Like it's so stupid. Like why do you care about that? In
I
the
hated
Transformers film?
the second one.
I don't even remember much about it. He goes off to university, right?
He goes to college and he's like seeing visions of the glasses, like the
Oh,
tech
yeah,
things of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So second one was all right. Third one was okay. They got a new girl, I remember.
Yeah, yeah. The one thing that like I always respected about the old Transformers film, if you watch them now,
Yeah.
the CGI is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it beats a lot of movies
still
now.
holds
It
up now.
still holds up and it's still better than a lot of movies.
Did you
from,
watch
like way
Thor?
back in the day?
The with
Oh,
Christian
God,
Bale? Yeah.
yeah.
That
Love and I
oh my
hated that
God,
movie
bro.
so much.
that one was so bad, bro.
But yeah, like another thing that sucks about today's films is the CGI.
Yeah, perfect.
They
yeah.
just they don't know what they're doing. They make it so terrible.
And it's like you're investing
it's
so
all-
much money
Yeah,
into
they
it.
invest so much money in it and it's so overdone and so bad. I don't understand it.
You watched the first Dune, no?
I did. I didn't enjoy the movie, but like visually it was
Stunning.
It was stunning, yeah. I'll give it that. Like the
I still gotta watch the new one. I don't watch it yet.
I don't know if I want to watch it just because I didn't jive with the concept of Dune.
Yeah.
But like visually, I wasn't bored watching it from the visuals. I just didn't get the story, I think.
And
it
yo,
just
I
didn't
thought it was just me.
connect
Like
with
I
me.
had to go on YouTube
Yeah,
and research about it, and I
yeah.
still didn't
I
understand.
still
it.
don't understand it. Like they
It's
just
an all dialogue
it's-
movie.
yeah,
One
and
of those.
they just throw too many like setup concepts for the next movie
Yeah.
in the first movie. So it's like I'm just watching a movie to prepare to watch
The second
another-
one,
The
yeah.
second movie, and I'm like,
One of my boys told me though. Shout out
tired
Nat.
of that.
He's the one who told me when he went to see it. He said this one's a lot better. Like the 1st
I've
one
heard, yeah.
was like you said,
It's set
building
up.
up and setting up towards the second one. The second
Yeah.
one actually has really good action scenes.
Okay.
Dialogue is better than what it was,
Right.
and obviously the CGI was just
Really good.
amazing. Even
So,
the Avatar movies are good too.
oh man, when did I watched The Way of Water? Um, I think over Christmas break or something, and I was
Yeah,
just like stunned by how good it looks. And I'm like, I'm just watching this on my TV.
yeah.
Like I could imagine like watching that in like IMAX or something. How amazing it is.
That was me and my one of my me and my girl's first date. Like
Oh
one of our
yeah,
first dates.
Avatar.
Yeah.
How'd she like it?
So
Because the movie itself, like the story, doesn't do anything special, but the
no,
visuals are insanity.
insane, bro. So she loved it. Uh, so here's the story. It's actually pretty funny. We she wanted to. Me and her bonded over movies. Like that was
Yeah,
like
that
one
was the
thing that we
thing.
loved right from the start.
Gotcha.
So once I knew that, TikTok showed me they opened up a theater where it's like reclining seats.
Mm,
It's like a VIP theater
right,
basically,
right.
right? It's reclining
What theater
seats.
is this?
Junction.
Junction.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Junction is nice.
But before we went to there, it was crap, where's the other one that has the reclining seats? It's in Oakville. Okay, so
It's
basically
probably VIP.
it's something like that.
Yeah.
Uh
But Junction's cool.
Junction was wicked.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she was a big fan of like movies and such. So I surprised her and I took her to the reclining seats one.
Hmm.
And we went to watch The Way of the Water. Bro, one of the best theater experiences. Like if I had to choose, I will pay the extra for the reclining seats rather than just AVX.
I don't even think Junction charges more.
They don't.
They don't charge more. It's not like VIP or whatever. It's just a better experience for
Way
watching a
better
movie.
experience.
And then they have like all the other stuff in the Junction as well. Like there's like a little bar, like
Arcade.
restaurants, arcade. Like
Yeah.
it's a good spot, man.
They have they have live performances on the weekend.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
another thing. Like
yeah.
I think the more Cineplexes should do that.
Yeah, and
They
it's
should make
sad
more
that
of
they
those
only have that
Junction things.
one location.
Yeah.
But
It's
ever since
it's a
then,
good location
yeah.
though. It's like in the middle of Mississauga. It's in Erin Mills, so it's like it's not hard for West End people to go there.
Nah,
but
bro.
They need more of those. I
Yeah.
think.
I think that's where you're probably gonna see like the future of like how movie films will be like.
Yeah, because
going
then
towards now.
it's like, for example, like if you went with your girl, you can have like a whole thing
Yeah,
in one area, right? Like you can go for dinner and drinks, and then just go catch a movie right after.
yeah. Or
In
then
one
if you don't
spot.
want to do the dinner and drinks because they
Yeah.
have food there, there's the arcade.
Exactly. So there's so many different
So,
things
so
you can do.
bare times we've done that. Like all
Yeah.
these movies, like we went to see Creed 3,
Mhm.
Black Panther when that first dropped. That's like our movie spot. Even the
Nice.
Spider-Man, the Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, all
we
there.
went all there, and because the reclining seats.
Yeah, it's clutch.
Basically they have like like when you're at school, those slide desks.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they have.
That's what they have to
so
put your
you
food on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, sick.
Yeah.
And you pay the same money,
Exactly.
and you have your own space.
And
Like
you just get like a better experience, man.
that's why I can't go to like regular theaters or even like AVX anymore. I'd rather just pay the money and go there.
Yeah, I wish they do that to the Brampton Theater. I mean, they did make some upgrades now. There's like more space between the seats and like
Oh, really?
yeah. The seats like recline a bit, but they're not quite the junction seats.
Yeah.
The junction seats are like nice.
Yeah, it's wicked, man.
Because from what I remember, there's like a little remote.
Yeah,
like,
and
pick up the
it's
feet.
definitely-
Yeah. Can't beat that.
So okay, so what do you say is more comforting than like, not including like junction theater?
Yeah.
Like, would you rather see a brand new movie in the theaters on IMAX or at home where you can be more comfortable with the surround sound and whatever? Like, what do you think is
Ooh.
a better experience?
Probably depends on the movie, but like the few movies that I've seen in IMAX, like I don't know if you can beat that visual.
It's a different experience.
Is it like a different experience? But like again, the movie has to be a movie that takes advantage of that. For example, like the few movies I've seen in IMAX, Interstellar, Gravity. I think I saw the first Avatar. So just like all these movies that are just like visually impressive, you can watch in IMAX. But then there's like other movies that you wouldn't want to watch in IMAX.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for
Trying
sure.
to think of another example, but like something that just isn't like visually stunning, a different kind of movie.
It's not made to be an IMAX.
It's not
watch,
made to be an
basically.
IMAX watch. Yeah.
100%. So I think, do you have any other topics to go over?
Oh, anything else you want to discuss?
What's about the relationships, like the movies? You're good on
Oh, I
topics.
guess another one, but like recently, Sanj and I last weekend we went to watch Monkey Man.
Oh yeah, how was it?
Monkey Man was really good, man. So, it's like it doesn't do anything special.
Yeah.
But it does what it's trying to do really well. which is
Uh-huh.
be like a revenge thriller kind of movie.
Yep.
So story's really simple. They kept the story simple. They kept the characters simple.
I heard the
The
cinematography was
the
like going on.
cinematography is really good. The action's really good. It's really gritty and dirty, which suits the kind of film it's trying to be.
Yep.
And like the thing that blew my mind about it, so Dev Patel, he's like the lead actor in the
Yep.
movie. He wrote the screenplay, he directed
If you
it.
guys don't know, he's from Slumdog Millionaire. That was like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
his
the lead
breakout
actor
role.
in Slumdog Millionaire. But yeah, directed it, wrote the screenplay, produced it alongside Jordan Peele, like
Mhm.
did all these things, and the budget was $10 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Holy crap!
$10 million, and like you watch the movie and you're like, "There's how did they do this for $10 million?" Because then you'll look at movies that are
100
100
million.
million,
Yeah.
200 million. Sometimes like movies are touching 300 million now. Like I think Dune is around there,
Yeah.
and you go in there and you're like, okay, they just wasted a bunch of money, and
Yeah.
then this man made a movie that kept me interested for the 2 hour runtime for 10 million bucks. Like nowadays, like the third or fourth actor alone is getting paid
Yeah.
more than $10 million. Not even the main guys, like 4 or 5
Which
down
is
the
saying a
line,
lot.
saying a lot. He made the whole movie for that price. I think it was filmed in it's set in India, but
Yep.
they filmed it in Indonesia,
Yeah.
and they did so did such a good job. The visuals are pretty impressive, and then action sequences are really good, and then story's simple. So I like movies like that too. Like there's not enough of those like one-off movies that you can
Yeah.
just you go and watch and you enjoy it and you're like, that's it.
You
Like,
don't need. You
I
don't
don't
need a
need
spin
I don't
off.
need a spin-off. I don't need a sequel. I don't need a prequel about the man's father. Like
Yeah.
another thing that just reminds me, like I saw the other day, like Disney is making when they made like that CGI Lion King?
Yeah.
They're making a Mufasa movie.
Yeah. I seen that.
Like why do we need a movie about Simba's dad? Is that necessary? Who
It's
asked for
all
that?
money, man.
Yeah, yeah. But like did
Even
anyone
no one asked for
did
it.
anyone ask for that? Like are they really gonna make money on that? It's just like I don't know. It's annoying.
Like I said before, I think the movie industry as a whole is at a point where
They've lost a
content is
lot.
just gonna be pushing out.
They've lost a lot of originality.
Yeah.
They just the reason why studios want to put out all these sequels, prequels, spin-offs and stuff is because they know it's like guaranteed money.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fans of
Even
the
this nostalgia of it.
exactly. You get nostalgia and you get the fans of the original who are gonna pay money to see it, even whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
They're gonna watch it. Whereas it's tougher to create a movie from scratch and then put it
Hope for
out
the
there,
best.
hope for the best, knowing that it may not be a hit.
Like
But it'd be nice if more directors,
took those
filmmakers and stuff
chances.
took those chances, and if studios let them. That's another
That's
thing.
another thing, man.
Studios have been like so controlling.
Yeah.
They don't just let the directors do their visions and that kind of stuff, and it's
You know why though, right?
yeah.
It's strictly because so much money. They're like, look, we're gonna put so much money into
Yeah,
you.
we want control.
We want control of it.
Yeah.
And when it turns out trash or whatever,
Yeah.
they blame the directors when it's not even their
Exactly.
fault.
And I hate that stuff. And that's like I guess that's one good thing that the streaming platforms offer is they're less controlling. Like Netflix just lets their films do whatever.
Bro, Adam Sandler just making films.
Yeah,
He's keeping Netflix alive. I swear to
yeah,
God.
yeah, right.
He has like they're gonna remake or not remake, but make a sequel to Happy Gilmore.
I don't
because
know
of the
why,
thing.
but if he wants to do it and they
Yeah.
want to let him do it, whatever. Like
The one thing I'll commend about him though is
Yeah.
he always makes movies with his friends. You know what I mean?
you know
Gives
what?
them
Like I
the
can't blame him
job.
for that. Like
Yeah.
if he just wants, like he's at the point where he's famous enough that he could just roll up into a studio and be like, "I want to make this." Me and my boys are like, "We have this stupid idea. We're making this movie." Can you imagine?
Like can you imagine us?
Yeah,
Like,
we just did
yo,
that one day. If you get famous enough that one day you're like, "Yo, I'm gonna make this movie and I'm gonna put Vish in there. I'm gonna put Sandra."
and just put them in all the movies. They're gonna play different characters.
That'd be great.
That's a goal, man.
But yeah, that is hilarious. But yeah, that's like one good thing about like Prime and Netflix and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. They allow their directors to do a bit more. Another studio that's really good at that is A24.
Oh, they're killing it.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
Rock is working with them now.
Yeah,
He's
because
leaning towards that now.
A24 just lets the directors have pretty much like full control of their movies, which is why all their movies are so good.
Yeah.
Like Hereditary, or I'm trying to think.
There's Uncut Gems that they did with
Uncut Gems.
that was
Yeah,
Adam Sandler like real first drama role.
and he killed it.
And killed it.
And he killed it. Yeah, because he had a vision and they let him execute it without the studio getting in the way, which is nice.
Yeah. So it'll be nice to see that. That's the thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to do because
Oh yeah,
like you said, like in the modern times where the time that we're living, it's so difficult to be given the opportunity to explore other stories and create what your vision is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm happy that they have that studio that they can make those options and such. So yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that helps a lot.
Uh, Yeah, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Uh we have to bring you back on the show again.
Sure,
And
anytime.
as you can see, now we got a studio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, thank you
Definitely
again,
gotta
man.
run more of these.
Yeah. Hail you up for that one.
Of
Thank you
course,
so
man. Thank you
much.
for having me.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys
it.
for listening. It's my boy Vish, and we're out. Peace, guys.
All right,
Thanks.
later.